one who started in the business. She's right here, right there. She's been married for 15 years, and in May of this year, right? She has 3 children. She's a full-time photographer, and if you get on her page, she takes the most amazing and beautiful pictures. I was thinking about asking her to do pictures of me, like this morning, but I was like, no, I gotta wait and like lose that 10 pounds first. But anyways, eventually she's gonna do my pictures. How long have you been a Beachbody coach?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, okay. She leads a small group at her church, addressing people who have weight problems and the emotions that go behind that. She runs the most amazing challenge groups with her cousin, who didn't want to get into this business. But Rachel's been married for 5 years, and if you go on her page, you've got to go on her page and watch her live videos, because she just draws you in, and she just is like the best personality, because she's so real. And that's what you have to be. You just have to be who you are and not compare yourself to somebody else and try to be somebody else. But we all do that, right? So she has a little boy named Aiden. He's the cutest little thing, and he always wants to talk and make noise when she's trying to work. But she was an insurance and billing administrator for a physical therapy clinic. She retired in August of last year. She's a full-time Beachbody coach. She was coaching for 8 months, and in December she had 70 Success Club points, right? So listen to what the 2 of these girls tell you this morning, because they're going to teach you how to run successful challenge groups, and that's part of making your business work. So without any further ado, come on up, girls.
We are recording for our team, so we wanted to make sure you could hear us. So.
All right, so I'm Jen, Yancey, and Rachel, obviously. I'm wearing the heels because Rachel's so tall and I need some height. So as Annie said, we are cousins. So we are more like sisters than cousins, I feel like. We're very close. But I was 8 years old when she came into my life. I was the only grandchild, so she came and stole some thunder from me. And we have a slideshow, so this is like throwing me off a little bit. And she, so anyway, we're just, we're very close. And this is so bad. Okay. So I was first introduced to Beachbody in the fall of 2014. And I signed up with my coach for just T25 Challenge Pack. 2 weeks into the program, completely gave up. I was like, this is not for me. I don't want anything to do with this, and I quit. And the next summit, I guess it was 2015 summit, my coach was at Summit and posting all these things. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I want to go to Nashville next year. I want to be a coach. I want to do this stuff. But I still wasn't like ready to coach. At my heaviest at that point, I was 215 pounds. At this point, I've lost 45 pounds. Still have, halfway there, but it's a journey, right? And size came out that summit, and that changed everything for me. She got back, and I immediately was like, I want size, and I still was hesitant to coach. So I got size and just started on that journey. I was a dancer before from the time I was 6 to 18, so I needed something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to lift weights. I didn't want to do cardio. No. And size seemed fun, right? So I did size, and I lost 30 pounds in 3 rounds of size, and so that kind of got me started. So then Rachel saw my journey because I was sharing it, because I wanted the accountability that Facebook brought, like everybody watching me. I wasn't a coach. I wasn't doing that. I was just doing it because I needed to be accountable to somebody other than my challenge group that I was in. And so Rachel messaged me or called me, and she's like, what are you doing? I need that. And at that moment, I realized, because my coach was talking to me about coaching, and I was like, I don't want to send her to my coach. Like, I want to make that commission officer. Let's be honest. So I immediately signed up as a coach. And she'll tell you her side of that too, because this is like it just is so intertwined. I signed up as a coach, and my coach immediately challenged me to become Emerald. I saw the value in the business. I'm definitely a lifer. There's just no way I'm going anywhere. And so she challenged me to go Emerald very quick. So I immediately, of course, signed up. My husband did not ask permission. I know his social security number. I just signed up. So the only other person I know, that was doing a program is Rachel. So yeah. So I got on the phone with Rachel. I was very nervous about this phone call. Like, I'm calling her and I'm like, Rachel.
Oh, back up. I'm a very strong personality, so over the years, I speak my mind, and I don't hold anything back, and so I kind of scare my sweet cousin sometimes. She was terrified to call me with this.
Yeah, but I was going to ask her, like, can I sign you up as a coach? I want to become Emerald. What do I have to do? So that's the only safe thing for me to do, is to ask my cousin if I could sign her up as a coach. So I called her and I'm like, okay, Rachel, I just became a coach and this is what I'm doing and I believe in it and I want to become an Emerald and I need one more person. What do you think about me signing you up as a coach? And her response was, how quickly can I get out of this?
My one question was, how much does it cost to cancel?
Yes. So in the end, I ended up paying for Rachel's coaching business for 3 months.
I really didn't want to do this, you guys.
But you know what? I remember talking to my coach, who is not currently coaching actually, and I told her, I said, Rachel's going to be a rock star. Like, I know that Rachel is going to take off this business, and she's going to be a rock star, and she has, and she is. So that's kind of my story. In terms of the becoming a coach, in terms of the weight loss and fitness part of it, my mom passed away when I was 20 from a heart attack. I'm gonna try not to cry. And she had all of those factors, right? She was overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes runs in the family, like every stress, smoker, bad nutrition, didn't exercise, just everything as a huge factor. And that really, I'm an only child, so it changed everything for me. I told you I'm gonna cry. So for 13 years, I just spent that time trying to find my way in this world. And went to college, studied interior architecture, got a job, had my first baby in school, and the weight just started to come on. And I was a college student eating like a college student, and then had babies, and the weight just kept coming on and coming on. And in the fall of 2015, right when size came out, I had a one-on-one with God, and he basically said, I was actually at a point where I was ready to walk away from my marriage. And I've been married for 15 years, so this year, so it's great. But I was ready to walk away because I was blaming everybody, but addressing what was happening to me. And God and I had this conversation. He basically said, it's time for you to take care of you. It's time for you to focus on you and get better. And so that was size, and that's what I started with. And now I'm doing quarter force and getting ready to start hammership. So I'm a little nervous about that. But so anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Rachel and her tell her story.
So as you all have realized, I was very resistant to this business. But if we rewind a little bit I married my husband 5 years ago. Within 4 years, I had packed on 100 pounds. And it was a short time frame. I went from a high stress job to a lower stress job, desk job where I wasn't active, and my eating habits were awful. I'm an emotional eater. I stuff my face when I'm stressed. And I didn't realize how big I had gotten until we packed. And I can't even blame my son because I only gained 25 pounds with him. So it was all on me. But at some point, I was watching her dance, and I am not a dancer. So I'm a spaz attack. When I would love to, I have this secret desire to step up movies. Like I just want to break it down. I cannot. I'm not good like that. But I knew that I just had to move to lose my weight. I didn't even pay for my size base kit. My mom paid for my base kit. We were broke. My husband was a worship pastor at a church plant of 10 years. We were financially struggling. In the beginning of 2016, we were living off a credit card. And our groceries and our mortgage was coming off our credit card, and we couldn't make ends meet. This church plant was dying, and he left the job on faith and had a commission-only job that made no money, like not a dime the entire time he was there. And so I'm losing weight. I started my journey in August of 2015, and I had lost a decent amount of weight, and then January rolls around.
I dragged her to a Super Saturday.
She did. I had to cancel my hair appointment to go to a Super Saturday event, which is the power of these events. I'm so glad you're here. But I went, and at that point, I was like, I am all in. I was like, this is where I was meant to be. Like, this is my jam. And I never looked back, and I said, I didn't know that the financial side of things could take us where it has. But from that point on, I said, I'm no longer content to, much like Jen, blame everyone else for my situation. It's not everybody else's fault that I was overweight. It's not my husband's fault that I couldn't stay home with our little one. I was having to leave. I was crying every morning on the way to work because I didn't want to leave my baby at home. And I was pumping in the bathroom at work because I was still breastfeeding. And it was just a nightmare. And emotionally, I was in a really dark place with my anxiety and my depression. And I finally decided that I had to stop blaming everybody else and take ownership of me. And I had to stop blaming my husband for me not being able to stay home and start doing something about it. And so from that point, I saw the opportunity in the business, and it's just like I just never looked back. And so I worked my rear end off, getting up at 4 and 5 in the morning, going to bed super, super late, working in the power pockets of the day. And within 8 months, I was able to come home full time and leave I was arguing with Medicare and Blue Cross all day. So I was so able to come home, and I can share my first video of being home. I'm gonna cry. My first video of being home with my son, and that first Monday morning that I didn't have to go into work, and it's just like a sob fest, just crying tissues. But Beachbody has changed my life, and challenge groups have changed my life. And if she had never run a challenge group and said yes to this process, and I'm gonna talk about that again. But if she had never said that, then where would I be in my journey? Where would I be in my life? So as coaches, we have such a responsibility to change lives. Like at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do, is to change lives. And so my life was changed because she went out of her comfort zone. And because I went out of my comfort zone, look at all the things I've been able to do and change lives too. So we want to share with you, challenge groups are our passion. We love challenge groups. And they are the community and the heartbeat of Beachbody. And I feel like if you can master the art of running an engaging and exciting challenge group, then you can go places in this business because your heart is in the right place. So we're going to talk about that. And we kind of have some tips for you on what has worked well for us. Take it with a grain of salt, apply anything you feel is appropriate, and hopefully you'll have a step. Jen's going to start us off.
And I want to point out too what Amy kind of said about not having enough line. I have enough line, but she's not an active coach. And Nate her son took us under his wing this last year and really kind of helped mentor us. And when I first started running challenge groups, I didn't wait for my coach to tell me, you need to run a challenge group. Like I had been in a challenge group, so I knew that what I needed to do. I wanted to run challenge group. I wanted to help other women succeed like I had succeeded. So Rachel was my first challenger, and she's lost 80 pounds, y'all. 80 pounds. Yes, I know that. Okay, started that challenge group in the fall of 2015. I was leading it, did not know what I was doing, but I took her and her mother and brought them into my group.
Sent us death text, you better post a sweaty selfie today.
Seriously. So at this time, okay, we're going to kind of talk about paid challenge groups versus free challenge groups. And at this point, I was still too nervous, like asking people to buy a challenge pack or anything like that. So I just was inviting anybody in, anybody that needed support, anybody that wanted to have that accountability and things like that. So it was a free group. And for the next, that was like, October, so the next 3 months, I led it. And then in January, when Rachel decided to start her business and run her own challenge group, we were going to split because we were actually at this point in, I think, December, we ran the challenge group together. And we were like, all right, January is here, January 2016, we need to split the group. She can take her challengers, I'll take my challenge. Well, our challengers revolted.
They freaked out.
Like they were like, no, you can't do this. So we decided, so for the entire 2016, we ran a challenge group together. This was our free challenge group. We also ran paid challenge groups as well. which were more like program-specific challenge groups. But what we learned so much from this free challenge group, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Because there's so much value that you can bring to people in a free challenge group. People are, we're gonna speak more about it, but people are afraid to buy they don't trust you yet, they don't trust the process yet, and just getting people in a free group, and it wasn't anything specific like, you have free eating challenge groups, free squat challenge groups, I can name them all, right? There's tons of them. But this was not specific. This was just me giving daily tips like Motivational Monday and Transformation Tuesday and like all these like things. And then like halfway through 2016, we decided we were going to have a challenge group. Yeah, it was a program that came out. Oh, I know what we did. So this is what we did. There was one point we challenged our challenge groups.
Yeah, we ran 21-day fix challenge. We ran 3-week challenge groups, but it was a competition between the two of us. So there was a point system based off of sweaty selfies and shake pictures, and my team won. But basically, between the two of us, we put money in for their prize, and then whoever won was the top point earner in the team was the one who won. So that's a good way to have like a co-led group or a challenge group to spark excitement. People love this stuff. So I think so the next one is, so that co-leading is where we were going with that. Co-leading is a great way if you don't run a super engaging challenge group, start by partnering with another coach and co-leading. You'll have higher numbers, have higher engagement, and it will just be a lot less stressful to carry that burden, especially in the beginning of your coaching journey. So the next one would be set the tone for professionalism. So this is key with your challenge groups. They have to view you as the coach, as the professional in your group. You are the leader that they're trusting in their journey.
And the biggest one for me is posting consistently. And I learned a lot of lessons last year about this. Let me just tell you, with running with her,
Because I'm able.
she is. So one of the biggest things we recommend is sync share. Now there's another.
There's tons of posting schedulers.
Yes, that's what it is. So sync share is what we use, and we basically post our daily posts for the same time every day. Like mine's 5:30 every day in my group. I will have something written out. Rachel's really good about scheduling her posts for an entire month. I'm not that good. I'm about a couple days, 4 or 5 days I can do. But the consistency of that is that your challengers will expect that you've got a post up by 5:30 every day or whatever time you choose. And you don't have to stress about it. You don't have to worry about what do I need to say, what do I need to do. Just take that time to think in advance for that.
The other thing with that is be creative with your posts. I don't know if everyone started a challenge group, but coaches have become very generic with their post titles and assignments in their group. Motivational Monday, Tip Tuesday, Water Wednesday, and we're just the same thing every week. My advice, my encouragement to you is to not do that. It's a lot of legwork up front. I handwrite every post for every group at the beginning of the month, and they're all different. Now, I've been doing that since January of last year, so I have a year's worth of posts that I can start cycling through now. I've done things where it's like Feel Good Friday, and things that really get them from an emotional and mental perspective, because this journey is so much more than a number on the scale. And it's our job as coaches to show them how their mindset is, because they can get so tied up in that number and quit. And if we're showing them the non-scale victories, if we're showing them the progress that they're making, and really emotionally having them connect with their journey by having posts that aren't just your traditional Motivational Monday, it keeps them engaged, because a lot of them are like, what about Rachel's in the post this morning? Like, what is the assignment for today? Because sometimes I'll make them post a picture of everything they put in their mouth, and they hate me. Or on Friday evenings, I make them post a picture of their food, because they best not be having a cheat meal right before weigh-in day. I go really, I'm a little hardcore with that. But taking the time to handwrite your posts, there's tons of inspiration on Pinterest and things like that, but go the extra mile. Like, don't just do Motivational Monday and Tidbit Tuesday. Go the extra mile, because it will be worth the long-term payoff of your groups, because we have such a loving community. Like, these girls are friends outside of our challenge group now that live on opposite sides of the United States, and it's so cool to see. So that's why I say be creative with your posts.
one is show up yourself. Be a challenger. You know, just because you became a coach doesn't mean you're not on your own journey. You know, we're taught to be a product of the product, but you need to show up on your posts. You need to be posting. You need to be doing what you post. So if you are doing a water post, you need to be sharing your water. If it's Foodie Friday, you need to be sharing what all you're eating for the day. You need to be a challenger yourself. That's the biggest one.
So the next one is behind the scenes messaging. This is something I was not overly great at. I did not have, as part of it was I didn't have a tracking system. Behind the scenes messaging with your customers or your challengers is crucial to actually supporting them in their journey, because we can't rely on them to post in the group. Because let's get real, I have in my private paid group, I have about 180 people right now. And if I'm lucky, on a good day, we have about 25 to 30 comments. So only about 25 to 30 people out of 180 are engaged. But that doesn't mean I'm not messaging that other 150 that are not commenting and things like that. And I have a rule in my group, if they're not comfortable posting, because some people can't, emotionally they just aren't ready to share. That's such a vulnerable piece of their journey, but they're still watching. And so my rule is that if they're still talking to me behind the scenes and giving me updates, I'm okay with them not posting in the group, but they have to be talking to me behind the scenes. So having a tracking system, finding something that works for you. I had no tracking system the entire, from January to July is when I signed up for Team Z. I had no system, and I was stressed. It was awful. I don't know how I made it that far without a system. But Team Z is what I use, but it tells me who to talk to each day with my challengers and keeps me checking in with them every single week. So I'm checking in with them on their goals, on how they're actually doing, and holding them accountable and reminding them, okay, you said you wanted to lose 2 pounds this week. I saw on your Facebook that you went and got a milkshake. So, you know, having that accountability, because that's what we're there for. And part of that is just fulfilling your promises as a coach. I know that some coaches do. I kind of have like a coach challenger agreement that I send them, and I basically am asking them what level of accountability they want. Because some people can't handle that. Some people can't handle you checking in consistently. They can't handle that pressure, and then some people can't do the journey without it. So knowing that ahead of time. So behind the scenes messaging is key.
Okay, so I'm going to go into consistently growing your group. So I was trying to think of like a number, like a general number of how many people you need to be consistently adding to this group every month. And I say between 3 to 10 people. But if you're doing your invites as we are all supposed to be doing, you could have more than that. But you need to be constantly bringing people in, because, we can talk about this later. Yeah, because when you first start your group, you might not have a lot of engagement, but the more people that you add, you're going to have those people who aren't very outgoing and are ready to share. And so the more people you invite in, the more people are going to start engaging, and it'll just become a natural thing. So you want to just be consistently adding new people to this group. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, for us, we usually do it, and I'm going to talk about like my invite strategy here in a little bit. I usually don't do the bulk of mine at the beginning of the month, so I'll add 5 new faces, and I'll make a collage with their picture and say, welcome to the group, so and so and so, share your 30-day goals, share what program you're doing, and tell us a little bit about yourself. So adding, because a lot of my coaches, they have learned, and I have learned through trial and error, because part of this as a leader is figuring out how to be a leader. And we don't really know how to do that when we first sign up, and so that's part of our trial and error over the last year, is figuring out how to lead coaches, which is key. But in observing my coaches' challenge groups, the common theme when their group engagement goes down is they're not adding anybody new. And so when you add people new to your group, those old people are watching, and they're watching the new people see the results, and they're like, oh man, I did put that Shakeology on hold, but so-and-so's drinking it, and she's doing really well, so I should probably order again. And so that's why it's key to continually to grow. And I will talk later on about like how many groups to run, because it all seems a little bit overwhelming. But anyways, the other thing is keep the excitement in the challenge group. If you're excited, you're going to be excited. A couple ways to do this is to go live. Who in here is afraid of going live on Facebook? And we have a couple. Okay, I'm going to encourage you to work on that. I was terrified. I remember my first video was the stupidest video about how me and my husband argued how to say what word was
No,
it?
it was amazing. Sorry.
It was so dumb. But
Oil.
it blew.
Oil.
And he also, anyways, he's
Yeah.
special. But right now. But it was just something, I was so nervous, and I was like, we're going to do this. It just come out, just work through that. And challenge groups is an awesome way to start with live videos because it's just people, they already want your knowledge and your information to start there with the live videos. So live videos is one, giveaways is another one. Don't think you have to give away a whole thing of Shakeology. You actually are with corporate supposed to limit it to $50, I believe, so make sure you're capping it at that. But go to 5 and below, get a cute workout TikTok. Do little giveaways like that. It just keeps engagement and have a point system. The last one is flash challenges. I schedule those out too. So the funny thing is that they become flash challenges for me because I don't know when the posts are scheduled for. So you can do water challenges, something like, hey, when you read this, go drink 16 ounces of water and post picture proof below. One that's worked really well for me is I'll post a status and say, all right, what was the last thing you put in your mouth and you better be honest. And so I'll get like 50 comments on that one because people will be excited if it was something healthy and not so excited if it's not. So those are a couple of things we do. You can do squat challenges and jumping jacks. Those are super fun because a lot of times you see people getting involved with their kids and their kids are doing jumping jacks with them. And as a coach, gosh, that just like pulls at your heartstrings. Like, oh my gosh, their family's getting involved. So keeping things exciting. Another thing that I do that has really helped, at the end of last year I did a survey for my team, for my challenge group, and I asked them for some feedback of the group. What would you like more of? So don't be afraid to ask your challenge groups what they need. For mine, they need a huge help on meal prep, they need lots of recipes, and they need flash challenges. That was the thing that I got the most feedback from. And so for me, I went ahead and scheduled out extra recipes that are going to go out to post to them on every couple days basis. I'll do meal prep Sunday, where a flash challenge where they have to post pictures of their meal preps. And so kind of going that extra level and having free content. And I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as Amy is on a lot of nutrition stuff, so she should totally be doing this in her challenge groups. But going live and talking about the basics. Why would you choose whole grain bread over white bread? Why would you choose brown rice over white rice? I mean, bring it back to the basics because some people don't know that. And if you don't know it, then take the time to research it. There's so much content. You can go to like selfmagazine.com and look at the top 10 articles and use that as an inspiration for a video in your group. But just really providing free content, giving them a reason to stick with you in your challenge groups. I don't think I've had anybody leave me since day one of my challenge groups. They're all still with me, and they'll probably be with me until forever. And I love that. And the other thing that I do is I lead Zoom workouts. So I think probably all of us know Zoom is a video conference software. I've started doing this in the last couple months, and really primarily for my accountability. I didn't know who would show up, but I really was having trouble getting up at 5 a.m. to get my workouts in. I have a toddler who's unpredictable, and you never know if you can actually get a workout in with him around. So I thought if I could get up before he was awake and get it in, that would help. So I do video conference workouts with my team, my challenge groups. We'll have as many as 10 people get up at 5 a.m. and we just log on to Zoom and we say good morning, we just, share what workout we do, and we just meet ourselves and then do our workout. And you can see these 10 little tiny images of people working out virtually together at 5 a.m. It's really fun. And so we take a picture and I post it in the group, and that's encouragement for everybody. So that's something that I started implementing a couple months ago that has really worked well.
Another thing that I started doing in January for my challenge group was also doing a Zoom check-in call with my challengers, where it would just be a very casual thing where we'd all jump on the Zoom and just talk. You know, I'd have them introduce themselves to each other, although they know each other, but introduce themselves to each other, and we just talk anything from nutrition to Shakeology to just life. We're just chatting. And it just brings home that family, you know, getting people more comfortable with you and what they're sharing about their journey in the challenge group. The biggest thing that is huge to Rachel and I are responding to everyone's comments in your challenge group. So you post for that day and you've got 10, 15, 20 comments, you need to make sure that you are responding to every...
Not just a like.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you are saying something to everybody that posts.
So it goes back to one of the 4 vital behaviors, recognition. They took the time to post a sweaty selfie. It's our job as coaches to recognize them and show excitement and pride in what they're doing. And even if they post a sweaty selfie that says quarter horse, day 1, you post, oh, girl, I'm so proud of you. You rocked it day one. You know what? It doesn't have to be extreme, but responding to every single comment, I think, is one of the biggest things that why our engagement is always so good in our groups. So, do you run multiple challenge groups? This is a question I hear a lot from my coaches. Not in the beginning. For us, it was just one group together. Then we split off when we co-led the one group, so we switched off months. And so then some months I would be running two, and she would be running one, and it would switch when she would run the big group. But for me, this month is a really, really crazy month. I'm running 7 challenge groups this month, which is a lot, but I have coaches that are launching their business and I'm coaching with them. And so that is a lot of hand-holding, and it's awesome because they're excited, and they're loving it, and it's their first challenge group, and it's just awesome. But I have a grads group, I call it my grads group, and then I have a program specific or like my month special group. So like this month our Team Cup group is our February finals. And then when they finish, they'll go in the grads group. So I have a place for them to stay as long as they want to. So I think that's all we had to say about challenge groups. Just if you can master the art of a challenge group, you will have people that love you and support you because you're putting your heart in the business and you're putting your heart behind them and helping them get results. And I think of all the things I've learned in the last year, because I feel like as coaches, a huge part of it is failing forward, being willing to fail forward, and challenge groups are part of that, coaching is part of that. And I feel like if you can fail forward with your challenge groups and ask them for feedback on what is going well, what they like and don't like, it'll really help. So those are our tips for challenge groups.
I'm actually going to leave Rachel. She's got another thing to say, but isn't she amazing? Yeah. I'm so proud of her. I'm going to leave the stage because she's going to take it away.
So one of the things that people are freaking out. Okay, so first off, let me just say, this is my first speaking engagement, so I'm like shaking behind the scenes. I was homeschooled, and so I had a spelling bee, first and only spelling bee. I don't know, who knows how old it was, maybe 8 or 9, my mom could tell you. And I was so nervous, like shaking, gonna throw up, nervous for this spelling bee. And I get up on stage, I don't even remember what the word was. Asked me to spell the word immediately. First word out of the gate, wrong. And you know it was one of the basic words. I ran off the stage crying and refused to go back in the auditorium. So speaking on stage is not my cup of tea, but in this business, you learn so much about yourself. And I think what I love so much is that I have a purpose now. Like, I didn't know who I was before I became a coach. I felt like for so long, I was just searching. You know, I was searching for what I was meant to do in this world. And, you know, to have something that provides for my family, but changes lives in the process, like there could not be a better combination. And so if you can allow that fire to burn in your heart today, as I'm trying to share some of the things. It's very weird for me to be in a leadership position, especially after in front of a bunch of you guys, but I want to share. So one of the things that people are getting a lot of questions about is hitting Success Club 70 in December. I did not plan to hit Success Club 70. It wasn't in my goal. I was like, please Lord, help me get to Success Club 5, because I have heard so many bad things about December, like it's the worst month of the year, it's so hard. But Beachbody offers so many tools, like with Portal Force, that was a perfect segue. So in looking back on my December, there was several things that I feel like went well. Number one, Portal Force came out. Launches and Team Cups are my jam. I love them. I spend so much time and energy pouring into those because it gives you such momentum in your business. Like we have these tools in our business. With every program launch is an opportunity to propel your business forward. So the first thing I was like, how, at the end of the month, I don't really keep track of Success Club. When I hit 10, I'm happy, and I just keep going about my daily tasks and say, okay, this is my daily to-do list. If I keep doing this, the rest of it will come, and I don't fixate on a number. But at the end of the month, when I realized I hit Success Club 70, I kind of did some self-evaluation. I was like, okay, if that went so well, like, what did I do? Like, how do I repeat that? And so the first thing that came to my mind, I feel like the biggest thing was the consistency in all of 2016. From day one of 2016, I did not miss a single day in my business. I showed up every day on social media. I showed up every day on my team page. I showed up every day in my own journey. And so that consistency, I think, is especially in the invites, all the people that ignored me. Who hates getting ignored? Anybody? That's the worst feeling ever. But all the people that ignored me or told me no or said, gosh, that's so expensive, they watched me for the whole year, and then come December my quarter force results came out, and they're like, fine, Rachel, tell me, this is my Christmas present, tell me. But I had to plant those seeds every day for a whole year. Invite every day for a whole year for that to turn around and pay off in December. The second thing is, and probably the biggest thing, was I got my own results from the program. We ran a challenge group, and I followed that thing like when it is my job. It is my job to have results. But I followed that quarter force meal plan. I did those workouts and gave it my all. And I really love cheat food, and so that's hard for me. But I committed to no cheats for that 30 days. My results came out, and people freaked out because I gave it my all. If we trust the process and follow the nutrition and do the workouts and drink our water and drink our shake, it will come. So I got my own results with the program. I helped other people get results. And in our challenge groups, it's not something we share, but I do want to make sure to mention this. One of the challenges, every couple weeks I try to do a challenge that asks them to share their journey on social media. I tell them, you don't have to tag me. This is not about that. This is about you encouraging someone else. Because if I had never put myself out there on social media, you wouldn't be in this challenge group. And I said, so it's your duty to pay it forward. I kind of guilt you a little bit. It's your duty to pay it forward. You can encourage them. You can post in a motivational quote. You can share a recipe. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It doesn't have to be a transformation post. But the neat thing about that is you can also see who would be really good coaches. Because those who actually respond to that assignment love the community. And so from my quarter force challenge group, I have my biggest influx of coaches yet. Because they all shared the results on social media because they were so passionate about the program and the product. So helping other people get results and share. And let me know if I'm talking too fast. I know I talk so fast and I get nervous. But help other people get results and share online as well. The other thing that I got, I'm very, 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 very blessed in many ways that Jennifer is my cousin. She's also a photographer. So I got professional pictures done for my business. If you haven't had that done for your business, it's not a requirement. But I do think having that, you can get mini sessions with a local photographer for not that much money. And have some headshots done, have some professional pictures done, even if you're not your goal weight. I wasn't at my goal weight when I had my pictures done. I was way farther along than I used to be, but it's still, I still am critiquing them even now. But it's important to do that because it puts you in the public eye as a professional in the business. They say, all right, they go to your page, and instead of the picture of you at Christmas with your kid, it's a picture of you, professional, put together. It really, I feel like, made a big difference in my business in December. So invite strategies. So this is invites. Okay, so who's scared of invites? Who's scared of invites? I know that I was. I know that I was terrified when I first started, and I was put into a team cup with another coach in our team who is super hardcore, and she was like, 50 invites a day, and I was like month 2 of my business, and I was like, oh my god. But invites, getting outside your comfort zone, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but getting outside your comfort zone, invites is such a crucial piece to the business. If Jennifer had never shared her story and had never invited me to join a challenge group, I wouldn't be here right now. And so as coaches, if you view it as an icky feeling, it's going to be an icky process. And you shouldn't apologize. I'm very, very opinionated when it comes to everything. But when it comes to the way that you should view your coaching business, we shouldn't apologize for being coaches. We should stand proud as a Beachbody coach because you change lives in the process. You're not selling a person a product. You're offering them a chance at a different life. And at the end of the day, if that's your focus, then the rest will fall into place. If you go into it looking at people as a Success Club member, they're going to feel that. You go into it with, oh, I want to change this person's life, I know they need me, it will be a different conversation. So invite strategies. With launches in particular. With launches and Team Cup, I encourage you to up the ante and up your invites by 10x. by whatever your normal daily number is, take it up a notch for a short period of time. Give yourself the opportunity to hit big numbers or to reach those goals because you're going the distance and investing that time in your business. So with launches, I literally send out as many invites as I can send into a day. Some people don't like cold invites, some people hate them, some people love them. For me, I try to do as many building of relationships as I can, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to get out my numbers if I have a personal invite goal each day, and if I don't have enough relationships that are ready in that moment to send an invite, I'm going to send a cold invite because I know I have to do that day. And it's amazing the number of people that will respond and say, I was so scared to reach out to you. I have been watching you for 6 months, but I just wasn't comfortable reaching out to you. I didn't feel like I could do what you're doing. And that gives me leeway to say, you know what, if I had never sent them that invite, would they ever have a chance to change their life? You know, so sending out to like 10 times invites the couple weeks before launches. I send program-specific invites with the Beachbody promo video. So for quarter fours, I'll have my invite, and it's real laid back and super easygoing. But I included the YouTube link for the quarter fours video so that they could look at it before they even took the time to respond to me and see if it's something that they would want to do or not. So if you're running a 21-day fix challenge group, send a 21-day fix promo video. If you're running quarter fours, is a great one because everyone sees that video and you're like, that looks cool. I want to do that. Or send a size video and you're going to have an amazing response. Country Key, same thing. Run an event page. So the way I do it is I set up an event page for that specific program launch. You can do this for Team Cup too, but launches in particular because they can't get to the program yet. It hasn't been released. So you can start pulling, and Beachbody does such a great job of giving us content to post. So I followed the quarter fours like page. I followed the quarter fours hashtag on Instagram, and I was sharing all the content I was finding every single day, posting in that event page, inviting to that event page, and then posting daily. When I found out that there was barbecue chicken pizza on the quarter fours eating plan, I went live and I was like, y'all, you gotta guess what? There's a pizza on this eating plan and hamburgers. And you're creating that excitement in the event page. And then on launch day, you say, all right, today is the day, you know, the days leading up to it, address their fears. Ask them, what are you afraid of with this program? What are you afraid of in this journey? Start addressing that head on, even before they ever sign up. And then on launch day, say, all right, today is the day. Who is ready for their email? And be talking to them behind the scenes every 3 to 4 days. So that niche group of people that were ready to do quarter fours with me, I was contacting them every 3 to 4 days, sending them recipes because I was like, okay, guess what? This is on the plan. I thought you might like it. I just want to go ahead and send it to you. And so going that extra mile builds immediate trust with the people that are going to say, hopefully say yes to you with that program launch. My overall invite strategy has kind of evolved over time. I will say the first 8 months of my business, I was like, all right, I got 2 invites out today. Woohoo, Amy. I got 5 invites out, and that was it. I had no strategy. But now I've kind of found a system that works for me. My goal every month is to hit Success Club 10 by the 5th because I want to be able to breathe for the rest of the month and know that, okay, everything else is just bonus. And for me, my team is very small, and I'm not dead leg, but because I'm now Jennifer's strong leg, she's not really pouring into my team and my downline, so it's all on me. And so from a financial standpoint, most of my earnings are all commission-based right now. At some point that will switch as my team is growing, and it is growing, and it's awesome. But I know that I have a certain amount minimum of Success Club points I have to get each month to pay our mortgage. So it kind of ups the ante a little bit, but it is important to have that goal. So I reach for Success Club 10 by the 5th, and the way that I do that is I'm going to kind of break down each week and how I go about it. So week 1, I'm focusing on my new group, and you'll get to that at the end of this, so hold that thought. So week 1, I'm focusing on my newly launched challenge group. I launch a challenge group like the 5th, 6th, 7th of every month, and it's within that first couple of days of the month. So week 2, I'm focusing on my planning, my coaches, and then my graduates group. So I'm kind of taking a step back from any, and still sending out my invites, but maybe not 30 a day. I'm sending out 5, you know. So I'm taking a step back to invest in those groups. Then in week 3 and 4 is where you go hardcore inviting for your upcoming challenge group for the next month. And people have asked me, well, how do you hold people off from signing up for the next month? The answer is no. I never do that because, like, for Teen Club, I hit Success Club 18 the first 2 days. And so they were like, did you hold people back? Like, how did you do that? And I said, no, I gave them the opportunity and I gave them the choice. I said, all right, I have a graduates group. You can start today. You can buy your package today. You can start today, and I can go ahead and plug you in. Or in a week, there's another group that's starting with completely newbies. So you could be with a whole bunch of new people that are just starting their journey and do it together as a team. 9 times out of 10, you're going to choose to be with the new group and not with a bunch of graduates who already know what they're doing. So in weeks 3 and 4, I'm inviting to that brand new group, and then the whole cycle kind of starts all over again. So that's where my focus is each month, and that's why I'm able to hit Success Club so early on in the month. And I encourage you to set goals like that because there is anybody know the feeling of the last day of the month and you haven't hit Success Club and you're stressing? Am I the only one? No? Okay. So I know that Nate and I feel on this one. It has been an hour to the cutoff at the end of the month, and I'm sitting at a Success Club 10, and I'm like, I am not going to end this month without Success Club 10. That is a non-negotiable. And at the last minute, invite after invite, I finally hit Success Club 10. So doing it at the beginning of the month takes that stress off your shoulders. Because Success Club, and I think Nate's going to talk about this later, Success Club should be a non-negotiable in our businesses. It's one of the most basic goals we can set as coaches. And if you are hitting that benchmark every month, the rest will come into place because you're growing your business, you're growing residual income, you have challengers, and it all kind of revolves around that Success Club concept. So having something to invite to is the next thing. Whether it's a free group, usually I'll run a free group the 3rd week of the month so that at the end of that free group, I have a whole crop of people that I can invite and they trust me now. But by free group, I don't mean 7-day clean eating. We all know that there's so many coaches that do that. So I love to ask my coaches to do niche groups. So I was never good at meal prepping, but it's something I wanted to be good at. And so through trial and error since August, that's something I really challenged myself. I did a meal prep 101 group that went over so well. And so it takes time to create the content because a lot of it you're doing it on your own. But having a niche group that's not just a clean eating group. I'm running one next week. It's like sweet treats and clean eats. That's another one. One of my coaches is going to be running one on child safety. You know, that's something she's extremely passionate about, and that builds relationships in your cold market. So running a free group and thinking outside the box. If you are good at organizing, for one, come to my house. And then for 2, run a free group so that I can be in it. But have niche groups that aren't just cleaning and fitness focused. Because you're building a relationship, your identity isn't in Beachbody. You know, as coaches, I'm not just a Beachbody coach. I'm a mom to a wild 2-year-old boy. First of all, I'm a wife to a worship pastor. So there's so many different things that I could work towards in my business and use as a free group inspiration. So niche groups. So those are kind of when reflecting on 2016 and reflecting on December specifically, those were the things that I had implemented that I feel like really paid off in my business. And I'm not a big numbers girl. I don't really pay attention to, I hit Success Club, that's non-negotiable, but I don't really pay attention to volume and things like that. If you're loving on people and if you are helping get them results, you're going to grow a team underneath you of loyal, loving, life-changing people. And the coaches I have on my team, I don't know if any are watching right now, but the coaches I have on my team are so passionate about this business. We don't want greedy, money-hungry people. We want people that are wanting to change the world. And so if you're focused on getting people results, then that will be what drives your business forward. So the last thing that I want to talk about, and I encourage you to go back and watch this video on my page. I did a live video, like a week and a half ago or something, and Annie watched it and she was like, you have to talk about that in our Hamptons page. I was like, oh, can't you just play the video? Because at some point, I'm like, how am I going to replicate that? But hopefully from this, one of the things that I have really kind of grasped onto and held onto with death by scripts is this concept of not holding yourself back and not comparing yourself service to others. In this business, it is so easy to watch another coach and see what they're doing and, oh, Rachel hit Success Club 70, well, how, I can never do that, you know, like, you are your own worst competition, and we are not in competition with each other, we're in competition with ourselves. So I was on because I'm pushing for elite this year, and so I was on an elite training with corporate, and one of the very first things he said was, he said, okay, truth bomb. And I was like, all right, I never know what's going to come out of Robbie's mouth. He is just kind of a wild guy. And then he said, all right, truth bomb. He's like, I really want you guys to listen to this concept. And he says, and that's what he said. He said, are you giving yourself permission to be successful? And at first I was like, what is he talking about? Like, permission to be successful? Of course I'm giving myself permission to be successful. What are you talking about, Robbie? And I took a second to take a hard look, and I encourage you to do the same. Take a hard look and open your mind. How does this apply to coaching? Because for me, I instantly thought about weight loss, and I thought, am I giving a lot of times I self-sabotage with nutrition and workouts, and I immediately went there, but then when she asked me to speak about it here, I thought, this totally applies to coaching too. Are we giving ourselves permission to be successful? When I think back to my journey and all the quick fixes and the failures and gaining 100 pounds and every diet I had tried and given up, what if I had never given myself permission to succeed in my own personal journey? What if I had never given myself permission to even start the journey? How many people do we talk to that just can never pull the trigger on a challenge pack because they're holding themselves back? They're not giving themselves permission to succeed. But as coaches, are we giving ourselves permission to succeed in our business? What if I had lived in my past? What if I had lived in all the mistakes that I had made over the years and lived in that regret of gaining 100 pounds and lived in that embarrassment of being afraid of looking in the mirror? What if I had never allowed myself to look past my failures and allow that to determine my future success? What if I had not done that? What if I had never said yes to that girl back there? What if I had not given myself permission to be successful by forgiving myself? And that goes to coaching too. Are we forgiving ourselves? I mean, I can distinctly look back on the last year and know where I messed up and say, okay, I definitely, that I went through a period in August where I was brand new learning about like Elite and Premier, and all I saw was numbers. And I made that shift in my team, and it went to crap real fast. And I lost a couple coaches over it because my focus shifted from the heart of people to numbers. But what if I had stayed in that mindset? What if I had stayed in that failure and not allowed myself to use it as a learning experience going forward? So, are you too bogged down by the what ifs and the I'm not good enough and I'm not as good as so and so, and that you will never succeed in this business? What if you stayed in that mindset? By doing that, you're giving yourself permission to not be successful, and you're enabling yourself to live in your current patterns and bad habits. And that goes for nutrition and weight loss. It goes for coaching too. If we stay in that mindset, we can't ever move forward because we're too bogged down by the what ifs. So at what point does that change? For me, when I went all in January, I had to make the choice to be different. I had to make the choice that every day is not perfect. And I don't wake up sunshine and rainbows every single day. Some days I'm like, if I have to message one more person, I might pull my hair out. But I actually made a physical list, and if you haven't done this, I encourage you to do so. I made 2 lists. I made one list, and it was, why am I a Beachbody coach? And I wrote down, because I need to pay my mortgage. Because I made this whole thing. Why am I? Because I want to change lives. I want to empower women. I want to give them the confidence to be their best self. And then I wrote another list, and I said, the title is on the days that you just don't want to. Write messages to yourself that says, you know what, do you want to pay your mortgage this month? You know what, you have an obligation to those 300 challengers that you're working with right now. They signed up with you, and their journey is in your hands. It is your job to show up. Go get on Teamsy and go do your work. And so that really helped me. That was the turning point when that what if mentality or holding myself back mentality had to change. I encourage you to give yourself permission to say, I do deserve to be happy. You know, a lot of times we self-sabotage, and it's because we don't believe that we are worthy of success. And so to be happy, to feel good, to inspire others, to feel confident, and to have a different life than what we're settling for right now. Fear is the thief of joy in this business. And you think about invites, you think about all the things that are making you uncomfortable when you're a coach. And I'll tell you, in this business, if you struggle with something, if you have some personal stuff that, you know, not your most lovely qualities, that's going to be at the forefront of in your face every day. And that's why personal development is one of the core vital behaviors, because we need to work through that and use it as a learning experience for our coaching journey. But fear is the thief of joy that holds people back. When you take a look at your business and where you're struggling, is fear the monster that's standing in your way? You know, for me, every time, you know, even at the beginning of this year, I kind of looked at my business and I was like, there's no way I'm going to make elite. There's no way. When I actually figured out what you have to do in order to hit elite, I was like, there's no way. But I'm holding my team back by having that mindset and fear that it's not going to happen. And so as your leader, it's my job to not allow my own fear to stand in our way of hitting that goal. Fear will be the prison that keeps you from reaching your dreams. And if you don't try, you won't even know if you can. And so for me, when I think back to saying yes to Jennifer, I didn't know if I was going to succeed in this. All I knew was I was no longer content living in where I was at right now in my life. And that same went for my coaching business. I realized I was no longer happy going to, well, I was never happy, but going to work every day and leaving my child at home. I was no longer content with that status of life, and something had to change, and that something was me. So are you giving yourself permission to live up to your full potential? What's holding you back from reaching your goals? And I had to do some gut checks on that and reflect and say, okay, I'm the reason. I'm the one that's holding myself back. I think back to what if I never said yes? Because I did say yes. And that's what you should look at. Whose life have you changed because you're a coach? Have you changed your family's life? Because if you have, then what you have done has mattered. How many people have you helped reach in 2016 or 2017 for that matter? What if you had not been brave enough to say yes and to stretch yourself and to invite those people and look at their life change and the ripple effect from that? I don't know about you, but I was really tired of living in the what-ifs and living in my fear and allowing that to cripple me from reaching my goals. So I encourage you to don't let your past determine what your future looks like. Learn from your mistakes, fail forward daily. You're going to go home and want to implement everything that we've said here, and it's going to overwhelm you, and that's okay. But go home and do what you can. Learn what works for you, learn what works for your business, and be willing to fail forward every single day. I want 2017 to be the year that I allow myself to be successful. And I challenge you to allow 2017 to be your best year yet, and to not be what's holding you back from